were we not here, you and I, right? We were here before some of our leaders, including the president of Ghana, they signed security partnership with the EU, right? The EU came to Africa and they are concerned about the security of Africa, right here. And they're trying to go through our leaders to sign security agreement, defense agreement. In their conversations, they care for Africa. They love the security of Africa. They want Africa to be free and have peace. And this security agreement is about tackling this insurgent we are dealing with, right? From the Sahel across all the way to Nigeria. So how did we get here? That straight conversation coming out from the European Union Parliament. I'm going to play at least 4 videos right here in this video. Conversation emerging from the European Union Parliament. Argument from one side and confrontation from one side. Reveal. And this whole thing is around it. This conversation is around the Sahel. These conversations coming from the European Union Parliament reveal that weapons are being bought specifically for the use of Africa, Sahel. No, like, I don't get it. Before you say somebody is going crazy, you hold on. Let's have this. I did not plan this video, structure anything, but let's have this conversation very, very organically, right? I want you to do something for me. First of all, like the video. Subscribe also. The best push you can give to this video is for this video to get to many people as possible. This is something that cannot be seen or heard by just few people. So please, do me a favor. Let's push this video. Let us at least have the highest like on this video so that we can push it. Because I don't get it. Somebody also need to help me in the comment section. There has been confrontation from the European Union Parliament and argument. The argument stemmed from Christophe Gomat. This is a French retired army general, and he is a member of the European People's Party. And his political focus, whenever he talk and his role in the parliament, is focused on European defense, industry, and foreign policy. Then confrontation came from this man right here. His name is Marc Botenga. He's a Belgian member of the European Parliament representing the left group. When you follow the European Union Parliament procedures, you realize that he's very, very vocal. A critic of European Union foreign policy regarding Israel, Iran, and all that. And here we are. In confronting Christophe Gomat, he reveals something really, really deep. So first of all, let's listen to Christophe Gomat before we move forward. Let's treat that, all right? Listen to what he said. In the European Union Parliament, I don't know why the European Union Parliament will not focus on European Union and they're so focused on Africa. Let's first of all treat his message.
Burkina Faso, this West African country, illustrates today the dramatic failure of the military junta in power since the coup d'etat of 2022. In 4 years, the country has gradually isolated itself from the international community, been suspended from several regional and international organizations, while fundamental freedoms are methodically reduced.
Hold on. Let's keep something straight. When he said Burkina Faso isolated gradually itself from international community, do they think they are the only people who people can deal with? When you say international community, so long as Europe is not involved, then it is isolation. Russia is there. China is there. Turkey is there. I mean, Arab nations are there. You are the only people having problem, by the way. And he also mentioned that freedom of speech has been gradually limited. Practically, freedom of speech in Burkina Faso is under attack. Before we move on with this speech, Ibrahim Traoré has something to say about this. Let's first of all listen to that, then we move forward with the rest of the conversation. Because I don't want us to miss anything. right?
Is there freedom of expression in France? There is not. If you do not align yourself with the ideology of the authorities, they hunt you. On the TV set, there are journalists who are hunted over there. We saw that recently. Lately, the Claudia who have been expelled from the RFI. They are journalists, right? Journalists who have experienced, right? Yet they chased them out of that radio station. Why were they sacked? They were sacked just for their sharing their opinions. So there is no freedom of expression there. Today, look at the wars that are going on. Are you crazy as a journalist to go make certain report? It will never happen, you dare not. When the Ukrainian-Russian war began, they sacked lots of Russian media in France. That's what freedom of expression is all about. Every freedom has its limits. When the peasants, the yellow vests and others are out, they beat them well. They wanted to express their opinions, to say to the state that makes a certain policy, for us to do so we can live. They beat them. We here, we take care of our peasants. Our farmers never protested and they were beaten by us. We take care of them. We do everything we can so that they can cultivate quietly, give the best of it, but elsewhere it is not done. But it is these countries that are in the stands, trying to educate other country of freedom. It's not true they are all dictators. Their freedom comes from Africa, so we must relativize freedom. Here we are freer than them, much freer.
Ici, nous sommes plus libres que eux. Beaucoup plus libres.
Traoré has answered that question in that regard. Let's move forward.
At the same time, the security situation has worsened. More than half of the territory is beyond the control of the state, and several million Burkinabe have been displaced and need humanitarian aid. After more than 10 years of fighting terrorism with the support of France and Europe, cut off from its former partners, Burkina Faso is sinking into chaos. It has become a sanctuary for Islamist terrorist groups and organized crime, posing an increasing threat to its neighboring countries, the most economically dynamic in the region, Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo or Benin. This resolution rightly reminds us of the support from civil society and humanitarian actors. But we must also take on a strategic responsibility, strengthen our support to neighboring states that today form the first line of defense against the destabilization of all of West Africa. Because when West Africa falters, it is Europe that will falter.
When West Africa falter, it is Europe that will falter. Are you an African? Yo, he said a lot of things here, right? No comment for now. Let's hang the rest of the thing he said, okay? Regarding how the Sahel has become a T group domain. More than half of the country is beyond the control of the military. And then Burkina Faso has become a threat to Togo, Benin, and Co. Let's put that aside. I will explain a lot of things to you. But let's move to the big conversation. Then he was confronted by Mark Buttinga. If I'm pronouncing it wrongly, forgive me, right? Now, this is what Mark has to say in regards to this, which brought a lot of questions. Please like the video for me. Very nice. It do not take anything. Yours is just a click, support, then we move forward so that others can have access to it. Please, let's move forward.
You're a bit upset about being expelled, about having been expelled from the Sahel, aren't you? Listening to some of my colleagues, especially the French on the right, and everything is starting to become a bit clearer in my head, because I wondered, in Belgium, in France, we continue to produce, to buy military equipment for billions of euros. It was specifically designed to be used in the Sahel, I thought. It's strange because we're told we need to defend ourselves from Russia, but we're buying this specialized military equipment for Africa. We're going to cut our pensions, our hospitals, our schools to do this.
No. Yo. Listen to this part again. Listen to this part.
And everything is starting to become a bit clearer in my head, because I wondered, in Belgium, in France, we continue to produce, to buy military equipment for billions of euros. It was specifically designed to be used in the Sahel, I thought. It's strange because we're told we need to defend ourselves from Russia, but we're buying this specialized military equipment for Africa. We're going to cut our pensions, our hospitals, our schools to do this.
He mentioned that they were told that they're supposed to defend themselves from Russia. So the equipment is about defense against, right? Because he mentioned defense. He was going to mention something else also.
I found it strange. I wondered why. And I looked into it, and I understood that the Sahel region has actually established itself in recent years as one of the most important mining corridors in Africa.
Burkina Faso is one of the largest gold producers in Africa, but it also has copper, zinc, manganese, and phosphate. But this show did
Mali will soon become the second African producer of lithium. Niger obviously holds hundreds of thousands of tons of uranium. And for years, decades, European companies have had cheap access to all these resources, all this wealth. Result, countries plundered, and extreme poverty for their population.
And now you're afraid of losing these accesses. But instead of always wanting to interfere with us, always waging war, because we saw with the destruction of Libya what that led to, let's rather help these countries with everything we can to support their sovereign development.
Hold on. He mentioned something.
And now you're afraid of losing these accesses. But instead of always wanting to interfere with us, always waging war, because we saw with the destruction of Libya what that led to, let's rather help these countries with everything we can to support their sovereign development.
Instead of always wanting to interfere and always waging war. So what is the weapons for? That's what we're tracing, right? The moment Libya was mentioned, I got the entire point. You see, if it is about something that we say they are buying these weapons to go and help the Sahel fight insecurity, there shouldn't be a case where we are mentioning, Libya right here and talking about waging war, right? We shouldn't be talking about that. But he brought up this case. Now, when would these weapons when could they be used? Till the day the people begin to buy our narrative, just as they bought it in the time of Libya, and we went in there to interfere, to save the people from Gaddafi. Right? Are you getting the point right here? That is why European Union Parliament is coming always with this conversation. People are not buying it. After this, you hold on. I give you the space of 1 month. You are going to see, as the European Union raise this conversation, the media is going to carry something. Something is about to just happen in the Sahel, and then the media will carry it to cause panic, right? To validate what the European Union is pulling out. The European Union that we are partnering with, this is what they have in here. It's crazy, right? Now, I found a particular clip. You see, I don't want to talk about this. I found a particular clip. Let me play that clip to you. Then we move forward.
We cannot have Africa united or in control of its own resources. But neocolonialism was in part responsible for the coup because it exposed, the workings of international finance capital in Africa, actually gave charts showing the network of these big foreign companies that were exploiting Africa's resources. And that was probably the final straw in deciding this dangerous man has got to be removed, We cannot have Africa united or in control of its own resources. And so that was a factor because it had such an impact in America. The American government immediately stopped aid to Ghana when that book was published, yes, and lodged a very strong diplomatic complaint, through their embassy in Accra.
She is speaking about how the fear book written by Kwame Nkrumah, Neocolonialism, the last stage of imperialism. That book written by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. They fear the book, and she's speaking in respect to that. Why Nkrumah need to go and da. So this, you connect it with the conversation coming from the European Union Parliament, a whole lot of things make sense right there. The day people begin to buy this idea that Burkina Faso, the people are being oppressed. The junta leader, as they call it, is suppressing the people. Just like Gaddafi, we need to go there, and that is where these new beautiful weapons that they are being bought, they are buying specifically for the use of the Sahel. Conclude the conversation yourself. Now, is our leaders aware of this? Is Mahama aware of this? Is the rest of the leaders, are you aware of this? African Union, ECOWAS, are you aware of this? Now, when you go to the message passed by this man right here, Mr. Gomat Christophe, when he said the Sahel has become a threat to the rest of the West Africa countries, Togo and Ghana, it is completely not accurate, because Nigeria right here, if you are looking for a country where majority of the country, more than 60% of the country, is beyond the government control, is Nigeria. It is now on daily basis. Do you know why they are not talking about it? Do you know why the conversation is not about Nigeria all the time? It is because they are succeeding already. I mean, the goal is being achieved already. So we move to Nigeria. You see how France is pushing this whole thing and African leaders are all over Emmanuel Macron and all these things. Nigeria, practically every region right now is surrounded by the prodigal sons. So if something that the European Union is concerned about Africa is not Burkina Faso, why is it that in Burkina Faso, you people don't talk about this? Why are they not talking about the fact that since independence, 6%, since independence till Traoré took over, 6% of total road network was paved in Burkina Faso. 6% of the country's total road network. You can go and search it, my brothers and sisters. 6% over 64 years before chairman came on board. When you look at it, as the president came on board, leader of Burkina Faso, the government of Burkina Faso, why is the European Union not raising this issue and commending the government that they are committed to be, how do you call it, paving 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers per year? That is their target right now as they are running. Why is he not talking about the auto routes that they are building? Why is he not talking about the factories constructed and the job opportunities? Why is he not talking about the houses built for displaced people under the former government, the democratic government? Millions of people have been displaced. This man is now on the verge of, first of all, merging these people with agriculture, making sure that agriculture-wise they become economic independence, and then some of them are learning trading. They are building houses that they are going to live in for free. In Burkina Faso, it's not a joke. It's not something that we are just making. No, they are building houses so that these people can have, houses to live in instead of shelter. That is why they kick out all your NGOs who come there with the structure and put them in the structure and be taking picture of them. They will be in that rubber structure and then they will be taking money from all over saying they are helping them, and then the help is not reflecting on the ground. Yes, these things, reform going on in Burkina Faso. Why are they not talking about it? The power plant that Burkina Faso is building right now, a huge one, to make sure that there is electricity everywhere in Burkina. Why is he not talking about these things? You are in the parliament and then you came out with agenda. It's a very beautiful thing, good thing that this man was confronted right to the face. It means that there are people in the European Union Parliament who actually know the truth. But you know what? The media is going to carry the conversation champion or the argument champion by, how do you call it? What's his name? Christophe Gomat. Whether it's Gomat or Gomat, this media will carry his conversation and then use that as a statistic to put in their reportage, and then, the public will be confused. So until the people begin to buy this, they cannot use what they bought to be used in the Sahel. As, revealed by Botenga, the Belgian member of the European Parliament. I'm yet to see an African parliament sitting down and be talking about Europeans' problem. European Union problems. Family, do me a favor again. I'll ask again. Hit the like button, subscribe, and put us on notification. See you in the next episode. All right. Respect.